2, 1.
Hello everyone and welcome to the first video on our Marvel Monday series. We're going to be playing against Ultron, who's the third villain in the box that we didn't get a stream while we were at Gen Con this year. And we'll be playing against him on expert mode. So Steve and I wanted to see how challenging can this game be. We won both of our Gen Con games, and ideally for me at least, in a cooperative game, you can play against it and you shouldn't just be able to beat it every time.
Yeah, absolutely.
It needs to feel like a struggle.
And we really wanted to see what does it look like when you shift a hero or a villain from normal to expert mode, and actually showing that process, so we'll get into that. Zach, you're going to be playing Spider-Man Protection. Tell me why, right? So we actually have been doing a deep dive for the strategy guide. We're going to be throwing that out with every core set that's pre-ordered from us. You will also receive a strategy guide on release. That's in PDF format, and it's going to give you all sorts of deck lists and strategies for these heroes. Why, given our research on Spider-Man, would you be playing Protection?
There's a lot of reasons, but we essentially last week sat down and we went through all the cards after we got the box in from FFG. But we went through all the cards and really started looking at the heroes, and my natural tendency, right, when we were playing at Gen Con even, the second game I played Spider-Man Aggression. It's like, I want to just like go do 40 damage in a turn, right? But then we started looking at the cards, and I started just, the card that really set me off was Indomitable, which is when you defend, you basically can get rid of it to ready. So you get to defend, and if you look at Spider-Man's stat card, he has a 3 defense. That's his highest stat, and if you look at the other heroes, like where's Black Panther at?
Black Panther's 2 across the board.
So he's a 2, and some of them are 1 defense, but Spider-Man is a 3. So you have the card that is 1 cost, and you attach it, and it's +1, so now he's a 4. So he can take a pretty hard punch and not really be affected by it. He's also got like backflip. So backflip, when you would take damage, you just cancel all of it. So if he takes 3 or 4 damage, he takes nothing if he blocks. And then if it turns out to be 7 or 8 and he doesn't want to take 4 damage, he's got those options as well. But then even more synergistically, he has his Spidey Sense, which is interrupt when the villain initiates an attack against you, draw a card. So every time he's defending against a villain, he's drawing a card, which is super good.
Yep.
So all that kind of mixed together, and the general card pool of Protection, I did not, honestly, like, I'm not surprised that Spider-Man is my favorite hero in the core set. I'm very surprised. Yeah, that's right. Well, in the core set. Specific statement. But I was very surprised that Protection was of any interest to me at all.
Yeah.
So I'm excited about it.
That's fair. So I'll be playing Black Panther Leadership. When I initially saw Black Panther, especially the Retaliate ability, which is a little confusing, and hopefully we can clear that up, or at least take a good guess at the intent of that ability. We'll get into that shortly. But Black Panther has a lot of great resource cards in Vibranium, and those are 2 resource, wild resources, incredible. So this is one of the defining features of Black Panther. And one thing that I noticed was there's a lot of leadership cards that give you those strong allies, right? They're expensive allies. So it made sense that if you have resources in your signature pool, you can play those strong allies in a much easier way. But specifically, there was a couple other synergies that were really interesting to me. Shuri comes out and searches your deck for a card, right? For essentially an upgrade for Black Panther.
Yep.
And there's 3 cards in the leadership pool. All 3 of them essentially play an ally from your discard pile. So I'm thinking if I can continually play Shuri from my discard pile, continually filter through my deck to get those upgrades, I'm going to accelerate into those big Wakanda Forever turns, and that's ultimately going to work in my favor. Black Panther also is a hero that wants to stay in hero form pretty much as long as possible, from what I can tell. So leadership kind of allows you to do that by soaking up some of the damage for you, allowing you to thwart, and having kind of a greater spread over the game. And then, of course, Vision makes a lot of sense. I mean, Vision, where you can spend these energy resources, gain a bunch of stats, and then have big turns, is a nice complement to Black Panther's kind of middle-of-the-road, can-do-everything strategy. So hopefully that pans out. It's our first time actually playing with the strategies in mind. So moving on, let's go ahead and see how this gets set up, okay?
Particularly on the villain side.
So we grabbed the Ultron cards, and that is just literally on the bottom here. They say Ultron. They tell us that these all go with Ultron. They tell you 19 out of 25, 21 out of 25. So we've got all of that pulled out. And then we have all of these treachery cards that are essentially this pile goes with every deck.
It's called Standard.
It's called the Standard. Yeah. So you see it's Standard 1 of 7 on the bottom here.
It's possible in the future there would be scenarios that recommend not putting that in. I mean, this is part of what this game can do, right? Is that you have your core Ultron cards, and then you have pockets of cards that you add to that to make it different.
So we've got Ultron, then we've got the standard set that gets added to at least everything in the core set. And then when we decide, let's look at the side schemes too. Then we have all of these side schemes, and I'm just going to lay these out like this because looking at the shot, I think that's the best way to do it. So these are our 5 piles of what's called side schemes. And the Ultron is suggested to start with what, Zach? Do you remember?
No, baby, hand me that book. It's right at the back of the book.
They'll tell us.
Yep.
So every hero encounter, every villain encounter is going to tell you what side schemes should be included in that deck for standard play.
The modular set is Under Attack.
Under Attack. Okay, there it is. All right, so I choose Under Attack. I would normally take this, I would mix it with the standard set, mix it with the Ultron cards, and then that would build our deck. Now, other options that we have here, and we'll get into this in a later live stream, but we can also include some of these other modular sets in this deck to make it a different experience, potentially a harder experience, maybe a little easier experience. All of these modular sets have a difficulty rating, so it essentially tells you if you want to amp up the difficulty, maybe you can include some more of these modular sets. Otherwise, you can just play standard and leave it in, which is, I think, what we're going to do here. So let me get all of these side schemes out of here. Now, of course, as you get more villains through these scenario packs, you can come back to Ultron and add like a Green Goblin modular set, and it's going to change your experience pretty dramatically.
Well, and I like the idea of randomizing the modular set so that you don't
too.
know what you're getting.
Or having like 5 in there.
And it's just like
a weird one.
Who knows what's going to hit.
So then, when we go to expert mode, the game tells us to basically find these 3 cards that say expert. I have expert 1, 3, expert 2 of 3, and expert 3 of 3. So I'm going to include these in the deck as well.
Painfully bad cards.
Because they're expert cards, and
don't read them.
They're real bad.
It's going to hurt.
I'll just go ahead and put those in there. And then finally, the last thing we do is we have 3 forms of Ultron, 1, 2, and 3 in the top right. And when we're playing standard, we use 1 and 2. And when we go to expert mode, you said we use 2 and 3?
Yep. So in the rules, it tells you like how to adjust for expert mode for each villain or each deck. So in this case, we just drop Ultron 1.
Ultron 1 is out, 2 and 3 is in. And to put that into perspective, just to give you a little understanding, number 1 is 17 hit points per player, number 2 is 22 hit points per player, and number 3 is 27 hit points per player. So we're probably going to get wrecked, but that's ultimately why we're here, isn't it? To have a cooperative experience where we cry together.
We are going to get wrecked. His stat lines are also just way stronger.
All right, so I have my Treachery additions for expert mode. I have chosen the standard modular set, and then everything else is normal. So we're going to go ahead and shuffle this deck up.
We set aside the villain cards, the main scheme. So in Ultron, there's 3 stages here. And then we actually also add...
That's right on.
From our hero decks, each hero has an obligation. So this is a negative thing. So like as an example, Peter Parker's obligation is his eviction notice. He hasn't paid rent, so he's got to figure out how to do that. And then Black Panther's is affairs of state, which is someone trying to take his throne. But these have the same card backs as all these encounter cards. So these get shuffled right into there, and they will randomly get pulled. And when they do, it instructs you basically what to do, but almost always it's like, hand this to the player that this obligation goes to. Now this is their problem.
And everything that we're using and playing with is from a single core set. So if you like what you see in this video, you can have that exact same experience with the 1 box. We're selling them for 20% off. I think it's like $47 total. And if you pre-order core set from Covenant, we're going to send you a strategy guide on release. And a lot of the strategy guide content is just further in depth or more robust of kind of the thoughts that we're sharing on these videos. So our hope is that it's really nice for new players, people just getting their core sets, busting them open and not feeling overwhelmed, having a good idea of how kind of to get their feet under them, decks to build early on, that kind of stuff. Okay, so I'm sorry to shuffle these in non-sleeves.
It's all about that anti-glare. We're doing it for
nice
you.
For the camera, and I do kind of shuffle like a wild
We literally
person.
have a pile of sleeves here we were about to sleeve with and then put it under the lights, and it was just not good.
Not good enough.
Can't do it.
Okay, Zach, and then can you hand me the rule book?
Yep.
I feel like let's just go and do what we're good at here.
So a couple questions I'll answer while you're doing that. Someone asking about the Nemesis cards. So those are set aside, and basically there are cards in the scenario that will instruct us to put, basically our Nemesis comes into play and engages with whoever the Nemesis is. But those are set aside unless otherwise specified. I guess technically it could work that way.
let me just run you guys through the entire setup process. So first, we select our heroes and set our hit points. So we have done that. My hit points are 11 for Black Panther, and I've got to go to this lovely dial. 11. Have you had
Hashtag sarcasm. Yeah, I'm at 10 for old Petey.
All right, then we select the first player. So as a group, place the first token, and that's going to be you, Zach.
Oh man, I was going to make you the first player. How kind of you.
I know that it's bad, so I like to. Then we set aside our obligation and nemesis sets, which we have actually done that. We already added the obligations in. Don't worry about that too much. Then we select our villain, which we've done. Then we set the villain's hit points. Have we done that? 22 times 2. If I'm right, it's 44.
That is how math works.
44.
I'm proud.
All right, then we resolve the scheme setup. So any setup instructions on the main scheme.
You ready for this?
Mm-hmm.
Hold on a second. Okay, cool. So in the last one we fought against Claw, right?
Yeah.
In the second scenario. So this says Claw's mysterious red-hooded employer is really the genocidal android Ultron. Contents, it tells us the content setup, put the Ultron drones environment into play. I'll go ahead and fish that out. That sounds bad already. Ultron drones. What's an Ultron drones environment? Come on now.
It's definitely in there. If I know anything from Arkham.
It'd be funny if it wasn't.
It's in there. I've seen it.
Ultron drones environment. You want to read that to me?
Yeah, so each face-down drone minion engaged with a player has a base scheme of 1, a base attack of 1, and a base hit points of 1. Has a force response after a face-down drone minion is defeated. Place that card in its owner's discard pile. So these environments are basically like setting the rules of this particular scenario. We can't interact with this in any way. We can't do anything with it. It's just going to sit up here and kind of give us a secondary way to determine the rules of the game. So in future scenarios, new scenario packs, not only are you limited to the rules of the game as you've laid them out, but you can create environment cards that completely change the way that things work.
Which is pretty cool, right? With a single card, you could just totally disrupt the flow of the game.
I would say design space, but I don't know if I want to be that guy.
You might hear Robert scream in the background. So this is 1A of the Crimson Cow, by the way.
Yeah.
So it says then put the Ultron Drones environment into play, shuffle the encounter deck, which I just did, advance to stage 1B. So I flip it over. 1B. Says Ultron is using the components Claw delivered in order to build an army of Ultron drones. When revealed, each player puts the top card of their deck into play, face down, engage with them as a drone minion. So I take the top card, I'm engaged with it, and this basically, for all intents and purposes, has a 1 stat across the board.
Just 1, 1, 1.
All right. And then it starts with 3 threat per player on it, and every time during the villain phase, the start of the villain phase, it'll add 1 per player. So we're at 6, and it's going to add 1 per player. And basically, it's out until...
when it gets to 6, it'll advance.
Right? Yeah.
So it'll start at 0, and then as the villain schemes, if it gets to 6, it'll advance. So it's like in Arkham, actually, so one of the things we've run into, this is kind of an awkward... When you start playing the game, it's like your villain hit points start at a number, and then you count down. And then the agenda, essentially the scheme over here, starts at 0 and you count up, and that always trips me out.
Yeah.
So basically, when we get to 6 threat on this, that's when it will advance. So it's more like an agenda in Arkham, where you're adding Doom over time, and then eventually it'll flip.
Yeah, it's a really interesting way that they chose to do that with these two.
Yeah, it's kind of a nice mix.
Yeah.
Maybe it's better, I don't know. So we've done that. We've resolved all of this stuff. Now we get to draw our cards. So
also, you start in your alter ego mode.
Thank you.
That's worth pointing out. Steven's kind of trying to sneak over into Black Panther there. So now we draw our starting hand, which is indicated on the bottom of the hero card.
Number of cards from their player deck equal to their hand size, which is 6 for me. What is it?
6 for me.
Okay. And that top card was probably something really good, because that's how these games work. It just got blown up by Ultron.
Yep. I was like, what do you mean the top card? You just put it in your hand.
Okay, now we do have a mulligan, Zach. We can discard any number of cards from our hand and draw up to our starting hand size. We don't shuffle them back in, and this is devastating.
This is actually one of my... It's a wrinkle in the game that I think points to the thoughtfulness and the intentionality of the design. So when you go through your hero deck for the first, every time you run out of cards, you shuffle it back up, but you actually have to take a card, an encounter card, off the top of the deck here. So essentially, you can mulligan, all 6 cards if you want, but that's literally, we're dealing with 40 to 50 card decks. So if you get rid of 5 cards, that's potentially 10 or more % of your deck that's just discarded. Some heroes maybe play cards out of their discard pile or need some cards discarded, but at the same time, that's just kind of 1 turn closer to being to that free card that comes off the top of the deck, which is not good.
Yeah. Now, the other thing, so here, let me just lay this out. One really important thing to think about before you mulligan is if you have in your hand cards that you want to play and resources to play them with, then don't mulligan, right? Because like, I know that I want to play Maria Hill early, so I'm looking for 2 resources. I have that in Genius, right? So that's good. Am I going to play Inspired on Maria Hill, a 2 health character? Probably not. So that's going to go over here. I would never play it on Nick Fury either. So now I'm looking at, if I bring Nick in, I only have 3 resources to pay for that, so I can't bring Nick in. Lead from the front is only good when you have a lot of things in play, so I don't really want this card. Triskelion is not going to do anything for me early, so I don't want this card. And this has nothing to be played on. So I look at that and I'm like, well, I definitely need to mulligan something here. Because like, I've got this that I know that I want to play.
That's what I'm looking at a similar. I have a Genius here. I like the Armored Vest, going ahead and getting Peter Parker to, or Spider-Man to 4 defense here. But I'm looking at, I have a 4-cost Webbed Up, which I'm not going to play early. Like, that's a lot of resources to spend on something that I don't really need right now. First Aid, we're going to have to take damage before I can even play this, so I'm not going to play it on the first turn. Tenacity is pretty good. It lets me ready my hero and go again, but even then, it's like, my hero's not really like in a, right now doing an extra round of attack or something is not that big of a deal. And then I have Mockingbird, which I think is a really good card, so like, maybe I want to get her out, and I can stun the enemy, which is pretty nice.
That's really nice. Starting off, that's incredible.
Yeah, so I'm looking at it here, right, and I have a 2 to go towards Mockingbird, so I'll need 1 more, which will be any card in my deck at this point. So let's say I mulligan this one. There it is. If I get any other one, I'm here, and then hopefully I end up with a 0-cost card that I want, or
could be there.
We'll see what happens.
And it really, you're deciding how risky is it to run out of deck and get that extra encounter card, because that's significantly bad, right? So the other piece here is I want to look at is when Maria Hill comes in, I'm going to draw a card, which will give me my 4th resource to play Nick Fury. So I might just keep this entire hand, know that these 3 are going to get used as resources.
That's actually really smart.
And then play a Maria and a Nick, and then Nick's going to go away at the end. But I could also use him to draw 3 more cards.
You also have to factor in,
although I don't want to,
T'Challa's start a game ability.
That's important.
Which means you're going to, should you have done this before, or
no,
you do this now?
I think you start with setup abilities. Yeah, resolve character setup abilities after mulligans.
Okay, cool. That's actually really nice. So he has an ability, he has to go get what? How does that read?
Any Black Panther upgrade. And that's going to change the math on what I might want to pay for. So if I got like a 2-cost upgrade.
All of a sudden Nick Fury is not going to happen.
I'm not going to mulligan at all.
All right, I'm going to mulligan 3. We'll go different routes here. So I'm going to draw 3.
We'll see if that first encounter card wrecks us.
Hey, this just got way better. This is exactly what I wanted to see. Okay, does Maria Hill let us both draw a card?
Yes.
She is the bomb.
Yeah. Okay, now we resolve character setup abilities. And I have one. Zach, I don't believe that you do.
Nope.
And then we're off to the races.
Old Petey's just being a scientist over here.
So the first Black Panther thing that I want to get.
Jocelyn, that's awesome to hear. Says, I have to admit you made me fall in love with the game already.
Wow.
That was quick.
That's awesome.
But that's awesome. It's easy to fall in love with this game. I think it's really well done, and Marvel's, of course, Marvel.
I get the sense that dealing 1 damage to everything is going to be important. So I'm going to get energy daggers, because Ultron's putting these things out in front of us. I think it's going to be relevant.
You know who we need?
Hawkeye. Yeah, we do need Hawkeye. Hey, I'm going to try my... I'm
yeah,
dig.
Hawkeye is MVP in this matchup, especially if you have that, like, get your ally back kind of thing.
That's kind of the name of the game for this Black Panther build. Okay, and again, sorry for shuffling unsleeved, I know.
But it's a lot of comment.
They
create a lot of glare, so we're not going to use it. It's just how it's going to go here. Someone asked about the release date. We don't. All we've heard is October, so I'm kind of expecting mid to late October at this point. You ready to roll?
Let's dive into this. We've got our player phase reference cards. So in player order, you can play cards, trigger and request actions, use basic attack, thwart, recovery powers, and change your form once per round, and then you end your turn.
By the way, I love that you can request actions.
Yes, it's relevant. It makes it an actual co-op game.
Yeah, instead of just like I do
like
my thing, you do yours, and we're playing the game, but you know. Okay, let's get into this. See, like, we should have made you first player, knowing you have Hill in your deck. If you're gonna make us draw cards,
that's absolutely true. You want to switch it?
I mean,
we need every advantage we can get.
It's okay. We'll just make it work.
That's the thing. We probably, like, leadership should probably always take the first turn, first player. Because do you have anything in your deck that matters going first? No. Well, then give it to me. We'll just say, and I'll write it down.
You just wanted to throw me under the bus.
I'm going to write it down for the strategy guide. See, we're learning every single day new things. Okay, so first player decision.
Question coming in, is the core set enough for more than 2 people? So Yes, absolutely. The only thing that is questionable is like 3 or 4 neutral cards if you want more than 1 or 2 copies in your deck, most of which you won't. But I think you can easily build 4 totally legitimate decks out of a single core set, and then as expansions comes out, that's going to get easier and easier.
Okay, I think I want, do I want to play Lord of the Rings style, or?
So I've been doing it where I basically have my main person here with whatever they're engaging up here, and then I put all of my supports and allies back here.
You put behind, I'm going to go next to, because I'm going to have all these upgrades on me.
That's something I don't know.
I'm going to put my upgrades behind and my allies next to. Okay, I'm going to start with Maria Hill. So play Maria Hill, and then I have to discard cards to pay that cost.
Okay.
So I discarded Genius.
It's got that 2 energy on the bottom.
2 energy, 2 resources on the bottom, and then that matches that too, so I've done it. We have an ability to resolve after interplay. Each player draws 1 card.
All right.
Hello.
Money in the bank.
Okay. Then we've essentially got a big question on Nick Fury here. Do I want to go that route? And honestly, I think that I do.
All Fury?
Yeah, and I think I might go 3 cards on this, honestly, because if I can get another upgrade in hand, I'm looking good.
Before we dive too deep, I'm just going to read this Ultron text.
Yeah, please do.
Ultron has 2 scheme, 2 attack, and then when he attacks, he has a force interrupt. When Ultron attacks, put the top card of your deck into play face down and engage with you as a drone minion. Until the end of this attack, Ultron gets +1 attack for each drone minion engaged with you. Just worth remembering.
It's a very, very good and scary. Don't like it. I'm just gonna do it. I'm gonna do it this way. So I'm gonna play the old Nick Fury, which is very questionable right now, but I kind of like it.
Hey.
And I'm gonna pay 1, 2, 3, 4 to do so.
All right.
And then after I interplay, I can remove 2 threat, which doesn't matter right now. I can draw 3 cards, or I can deal 4 damage to an enemy.
Wow. It's 3 cards.
You think so? Yeah. I can definitely, because that's gonna be 3. I'll be able to play 1. I'll do it. I'll do 3 cards.
I just feel like it's so good right now. Because you're going to get that, whatever that upgrade is in play, and you probably have a for Wakanda now in your hand. Plus, you're going to get a drawback up, so that's worth remembering.
I may have to do something strange here.
All right. That's why we're here, right?
All right, this is weird. Let's do it. I'm going to play the Golden City.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to have to discard an Ancestral Knowledge and a Wakanda Forever to do it.
But it's okay.
But then I'm going to exhaust it.
That's so
to draw
crazy. That's really good.
Yeah.
It immediately pays for itself if you're in alter ego mode.
Yeah. And then here is the question.
Man, you're going to make my turn look lame.
I actually this turned out extremely well. Then we'll play a lead from the front, paying 2 with the power of leadership. So it's double if you're paying for a leadership
Money in the
card.
bank.
So every character I control gets +1 thwart and +1 attack until the end of the phase. And so I'm just going to go attack that boss.
You're going to load up.
Flip over now that I've used my alter ego action. I can do that once per turn, so I've done that already. So now I'm going to do 3 damage. Can you dial me there, Zach?
Yep.
3 damage. I'm going to take 1
down
in
to
return.
41. I'll
You
keep
notice
saying that.
Nick Fury and pretty much all allies, there's one exception in the core set, and she's great. You take the damage equal to the symbol underneath the stat that you're using with your allies. So there's 1 damage symbol, so I attack and do 1 damage. It won't matter because Nick's going to be discarded at the end of the round, but hey, Gandalf thing is
that's how he rolls, right?
Then my thwart isn't going to matter, so I can kill this drone, or I can do 2 damage to Ultron, and I hate to waste the fact that I have 2 attack instead of 1 right now.
But that's going to get not fun.
Let's do it. Let's
All
kill
right.
the drone. And that was a strength.
And obviously now you're seeing with these drones basically coming out as cards from the top of our deck, Ultron's going to be pressuring our deck, which means that we're going to be going through that probably pretty quickly and also getting free cards dealt to us because of pain.
Which, and if as a Netrunner player playing against like Jinteki, doing an entire turn where like my first turn is like 10 cards, probably not ideal.
But if you're going to do it,
you may as well do it, I guess.
It's the first turn, right? It's
That's right. If you're going to do it, it's the first turn.
it's like the runs you can make when you're playing against a Jinteki or when you have a handful of cards.
3 damage to
All right.
the villain from Black Panther.
We
there.
are down to 38. measly 38.
And I'm holding my energy daggers. And it's an interesting thing with Black Panther because playing energy daggers right now does nothing for me unless I'm going to play Wakanda Forever. So I found I want to have 2 in hand. I want to play both with the Wakanda Forever.
Get max value.
And Golden City and these kinds of things help me out a lot with that.
Honestly, even the fact that you have Golden City would make me on your next turn very tempted.
Yeah, flip back in, build.
Yeah. All right, my turn?
Yep.
Finally. Just kidding. That was a crazy turn.
Yeah, it was a good one, wasn't it?
Impressed by you.
I'll make a note to say have this turn in the strategy guide.
That's right. All right, yeah, do this thing. Let's do, I'm going to build. I'm going to also go through some cards. All right, I'm going to play a web shooter. I'm going to discard 1 energy to do that. And so can you hand me 3 generic tokens?
3 generic tokens.
So web shooter comes in with 3 web counters, and I can use it. I'm going to
Let me give you some ones.
Immediately need the ones. And I can use a counter as basically a resource. And then also Peter Parker has Scientist Resource, generate a mental resource, limit once per round. So I'm going to use his ability to generate a resource and my web shooter. And we're going to play a Black Cat. Forced response, after you play Black Cat, discard the top 2 cards of your deck, add each card with a printed mental resource discard this way to my hand.
Now, does Protection have a lot of mental resources? Because we ran the numbers on this.
It's not great.
I think it was like middle of the road. It was like 3rd or 2nd.
I feel like it's...
it wasn't the worst, was it?
I'd have to do my math. But I should at least get 1 card most of the time.
Nope.
Blanks.
No.
Nothing. But Black Cat's out. Thanks, Black Cat.
Yeah, let's just do this.
All right.
Just a
Uh-oh.
little prototype on there.
Whoa. Oh. Let's see. What makes the most sense now that I've made a mistake? Okay. Let's go with Mockingbird. I'm going to discard...
Are you going to flip? Are you going to flip to hero?
Oh, it's a hero resource. Yeah. I can't do anything I just did. So let's back up.
I want to note that is expertly noted in the strategy guide.
Yep.
Literally, the first thing in commonly missed rules is hand size on your heroes, which changes based on your type.
It's ultimately fine.
Hero alter ego action as well.
Yeah, I'm still going to play Black Cat, but instead of using this resource or this resource and that resource, I'm just going to discard a Genius. Yep. And so she comes into play and discards the top 2 either way, which is, whatever at this point. And then I'm going to use the Peter Parker resource to play an Armor Vest. And then I'm going to flip to Spidey.
Here we go. This is how we play.
And I'm going to play Indomitable using my web shooters.
There you go.
And then I will keep this other card in my hand. Fighty time. Black Cat, one of my faves here. When she attacks, she doesn't do damage to herself.
Unbelievable. So my Inspired needs to go to Black Cat for the rest of the game.
Yeah, she does 2 damage every round like
3 damage. We can stack them, I think.
So I'm going to attack with Black Cat on this drone. She does 1 damage, and I don't take any back. So that's great. Oh, it was my Avengers Mansion. Come on now. And then Spidey, I basically get a free attack because I'm going to get it ready before going into the next phase. So he'll just go ahead and hit Ultron for 2, taking him down to 36.
36, huh? That's not terrible.
That's not too bad. It's going to get bad.
All right, is that the end of your phase?
That's the end of my phase.
After all players have finished their turns, everybody discards any number of cards from their hand that they no longer want. Draw up to your hand size. Especially relevant is what is your new hand size based on whether or not you're now in your hero
my hand
mode.
size is a 5 now. So I am going to discard my card.
2, 3, 4.
Perfect.
5. Okay, this is not bad.
Okay, and then everything readies?
Ready each of our exhausted cards. And then Nick Fury says at the end of the round, too, which is really nice. I wasn't fully appreciating the fact that he sticks around until the end of the villain phase.
So he gets to get his in-play ability, potentially attack at least once if you don't have the I am ready card.
And then soak one up.
And then take a punch to the face.
Soak one up. Okay, so I've got my cards. So now we go to the villain phase. Place threat on the main scheme. So it's going to add 2 per player, according to the card there.
Okay.
So we're a third of the way there, yes.
Yep.
And then we do the villain, and each engaged minion activates. And you killed the drone, didn't you? Good for you. So if you're in hero form, the enemies attack you. You may defend before the boost card is discarded. So Ultron is going to attack me as the first player. And when Ultron attacks you, put the top card of the deck into play face down, engage with you as a drone minion. Until the end of this attack, Ultron gets +1 for each drone minion. So this is actually going to mean, as far as we understand and the way that we've ruled it, Ultron's going to attack, drone's going to come in, then drone is going to attack, which is
no fun.
Not ideal. Okay, and if that's wrong, I'm sure the stream will let us know, but I think I watched them doing it on the live stream, and that's how they were doing it.
Also, someone asking about the expansions, just a quick note. They have announced basically the first scenario pack is going to come out first. It'll be the month after release. And then there's 2 hero packs after that, one a month. One's Captain America, the next one's Miss Marvel. And then there's a Wrecking Crew scenario pack coming out after that. And then past that, we don't know. We know there's a third type of product, which is a campaign expansion. But they haven't said very much about it.
Yeah. Okay, so Ultron is attacking. That then triggers the Force Interrupt. Put the top card of your deck into play face down. And now, since we have it, I'm going to go ahead and hit people with the actual
rules
term.
reference.
I just saw this the other day. And I think it's very relevant because this is kind of the key. So to resolve an enemy attack, we're going to do the following. Give it 1 face down boost card from the encounter deck. Okay. If a player wishes to defend, that player exhausts a hero or ally as the defender. If a player other than the target player defends, the defending player now becomes the target player for this attack. So if Spider-Man decides to defend, you're now the defending player for all intents and purposes.
And as far as I'm aware, maybe you can't answer this, but Spider-Man has Spider Sense, which is interrupt. When the villain initiates an attack against you, draw a card.
Yeah.
Does that happen when I block for you?
I don't think so. Because the attack is already initiated, right? It didn't initiate it against you. It just became an attack against you.
Noted. I'll have to clarify that.
Yeah, right. Then if the villain is attacking, flip each of the villain's boost cards face up and increase the villain's attack value by those effects and resolve anything that matters. Discard the boost card. If you're attacking with a minion, you don't do that, and you deal damage equal to that attack. Now, here's the interesting thing to me about the rules, and they'll probably have to like clarify this. This is a classic game language. So enemies attack players, right? Mm-hmm. But Black Panther says after this character is attacked, deal 1 damage to the attacking character. So
he's attacking you, not Black Panther.
To me, it's I'm very unsure if I defend with Black Panther, I think definitely retaliate happens. If I don't defend and Black Panther takes that damage, is he attacked at that point? That's the thing that is not clarified here. So my ruling would be, if I'm defending or not defending, as long as the attack hits me, retaliate would trigger. If you decide to defend the attack, retaliate would not trigger.
So if you defend or if you take damage from the attack, we'll trigger it.
Basically, yeah.
Otherwise, we'll look to the rules later to see if we can figure it out.
All right, if a hero defends, the amount of damage dealt is reduced. If an ally defends, all the damage is dealt to the ally and additional damage does not carry over. And if no character defends the attack, it's considered undefended and all damage is dealt to the hero.
Here's a question. Someone says they think Spider Sense does trigger because the attack is initiated after the defenders are declared.
No, it is not. It is not at all. If the villain is attacking, give it 1 face down. If the player wishes to defend, the villain is attacking. It doesn't really say when an attack officially happens. But you'd have to think initiating an attack is step 1, right?
That would be my assumption.
It says literally.
I mean, I'm no rules person.
If the villain is attacking,
for any amount of time.
So anyway, long story short, the attack is initiated. I have to imagine initiation is always step 1.
Yeah.
Like, that's how my life works, at least. Then we decide if I'm going to defend. I am going to defend with Nick. Haha, coming out. Then we're going to flip this up.
Yeah, I was going to ask if you wanted me to block for you, but then I realized Nick Fury was out.
Ultron is 2 attack and +1 for each drone engaged with me, so it's a 3 attack. We have a swarm attack revealed here with 1 boost icon. It's going to do 4 damage. That is going to kill poor old Nick Fury.
Old Nick.
Which we intended for that to happen anyway. This gets discarded. Is that where that goes? Let's just encounter discard over here. That's too close to you. Let's put it up here. Can we do that?
Yeah, that's what we did last time. It's like this space is not. I think technically this piece should be like up here, and we would both be playing over in this space. But say that.
Then the drone attacks. So it's going to do 1 damage. Do we have any pluses up here? Anything that matters? It's just 1, 1, 1.
1, 1, 1.
So I think that Black Panther's ability would trigger here, even if I don't defend. And I'm going to play it like that because I feel like we need every advantage.
So you're going to take 1 unblocked damage.
So I'll take 1 unblockable damage.
And then you retaliate to murder it?
And then I will retaliate.
Yeah, you should do that all day long.
To the dials. Go to 10 health, and an inspired is dead.
This means nothing, but apparently someone saw them trigger Spidey Sense when blocking for someone else on the live stream.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean anything.
Yeah,
except
we know how this goes.
Yeah, we will see. I'm going to play it like that's not true. Okay, so now, because you've initiated all that stuff, now he attacks me?
Now you get attacked, yeah.
So what are the steps again?
You're in hero mode, so first we're going to give him a boost.
All right.
And then after the attack is initiated, put the top card of your deck into play face down. So you're going to go ahead and do that.
Bummer.
Which is a bummer. So permanent +1, basically.
Yep.
And then you're going to decide, do you want to defend this with a ally or Spider-Man himself?
Yes.
Who are you defending with?
So Spider-Man is going to defend.
All right.
So he's got a +1 defense here because of the armored vest, so he's at a 4 defense.
So 3 attack versus 4 defense. And we have a boost. Choose either spend a mental resource or put the top card of your deck as a drone. If you do that, he's going to get another +1 attack.
If I do the drone?
Android efficiency, yeah. So if you put something in play with you, I think the immediate static effect is now he's +2
So
attack.
I can either spend the resource
or deal with the drone.
Or deal with the drone. I'll spend a resource. Yes. Oh, wait, I'm blocking. I'm going to draw a card.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to spend a resource.
Yeah.
Okay.
Consider it resolved.
So then he technically hits me for 2. I have a defense of 4.
3 damage because of the drone.
3. I have a defense of 4, so nothing happens.
Soaked.
But then I will trigger Indomitable. After a hero defends, discard Indomitable, ready your hero.
Nice.
Swinging around.
Now we've got a minion attack. Do you want to defend that?
I do not.
It's a 1 damage attack.
I'm just going to take a damage on old Spidey.
All right. 1 damage is done.
It's not worth exhausting.
Drone stands back up. And so I think now we have resolved all of those attacks. Now we go to the encounter cards. We're going to deal one of those to each player.
Oh, yeah. More fun. It starts with you, though, right?
Yeah, it's way worse than... Yeah, it should be mine. I guess that does matter. We'll shoot you in Vegas for that. Attached to the villain. The villain gains Retaliate 1. And we can take a hero action, discarding 2 energy resources to discard this card.
Well, that's not
So
fun.
he gets Retaliate 1 and +1 attack. Yikes.
Great.
The name of the card is Concussion Blasters. So he's a lot better now. And I've seen a lot of these cards in the game. They're going to continue to boost Ultron. And if we ignore these hero actions to get rid of them, as you might expect, it's going to keep
Eventually it
getting
gets bad. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so then mine,
Yeah.
we'll flip it over. Assault. When it has a different effect based on whether I'm in alter ego or hero mode. The hero says, when revealed, hero, the villain attacks you. Sweet.
All right. Hey, you're standing up. You can block it again. I mean, it's kind of worth
But
doing.
I'm going to get another drone, right?
Yes. So let's go ahead and run through
Just
it.
make sure I don't have a cancel. I did, but I discarded it.
Boost there, and then when he attacks you, put the top card as a drone.
I got a drone problem.
It's now 5 damage attack. 2 + 2 for the drones, +1 for the concussion.
I'm not going to defend.
No defending. Spider could be just done. And got nothing. No boost whatsoever. Good job.
So then technically I would be taking 5 here, right?
Yes.
I will go ahead and play a backflip, interrupt.
Ooh.
When I would take any amount of damage from an attack, prevent all of that damage.
So good.
So I will just ignore it.
Well in. And then does it say the villain attacks you or the enemy attacks you on that card? The one that you resolved. I'm wondering if your drones attack as well.
That's not it. The villain attacks you.
Okay, so that means no drones.
Also, I should have Spidey Sense there, I guess.
Yeah,
I'll
absolutely.
just do that again.
Yeah, you're working it.
Spidey likes to get attacked.
Then each player reveals and resolves, which we did. Pass the first player token over to you, and restart.
All right, we're back to it.
We're back to it. So at the end of this phase, what did we do? We did 44, 36. So what is that?
8 damage.
8 damage. Did you take a little bit of it? You took 1 damage. I took 1 damage. You got 2 drones on you. I think we're in an okay spot. I don't mind this. And we've got 2. So
Yeah,
technically, maybe we have 2 turns.
It didn't
until
go horribly.
advances. Yeah.
It could have gone better, but it could have gone worse.
Don't sleep on the fact that 2 energy resources are going to discard that.
I have none of those in my hand, so I'll let you take care of that problem. You ready to roll?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right, let's go. Let's start here. I'm going to play a swinging web kick with one of my web shooter resources and 2 from strength. So I'll just do 8 damage to Ultron. You're welcome. Going down to 28.
Look at you go. I can probably take care of those drones.
Both of them?
Yeah.
That's handy. I mean, I have a free black cat.
That's true.
Moments.
That's true. That's not bad.
So-
I might wait then.
I mean, yeah, depends on what you have going. Let's see. I will go ahead and get rid of a drone with a black cat, so I don't forget.
Right.
Man, how much damage did you take?
I took 1 damage.
Interesting.
Did you, let's see, retaliate? So does the swinging kick there
It counts as an
retaliate?
attack, yep.
Yeah.
So I take a damage?
Yeah, go ahead and take one.
Ouch. Someone was asking, so that's an important thing to clarify. So swing web kick has hero action and attack in parentheses. And so that just means it is an attack. It doesn't mean you have to exhaust or use your attack to do it. But it does mean things like, it's a great example. So Ultron, because of the upgrade, has retaliate 1. So when I attack him with that card, he's going to hit me back for 1.
Yeah. After this character is attacked, deal 1 damage to the attacking character.
Which is good because I have things I wanted to do. So I'm going to actually...
You flipping? I think I'm going to do a flip this turn,
I'm going
too.
to attack first. So we're going to get him down to 26.
I'll be doing the exact same thing.
And then I'm going to flip back to Peter Parker so he can't attack me. I have a free resource here, so I'll spend that on a first aid to heal 2. Go back to 10.
Look at you valuing healing over here.
It's just what I have to do.
Play the hand you're dealt.
Yeah, let's just live the dream here. And then that'll be my turn.
Can you split it between 2 things?
Heal 2 damage from any character.
Bummer. I wish you could do 1 off Maria and 1
Yeah.
off. All right. Mine?
Yep.
Well, let's just see about this.
Although, instead of attacking, I maybe should have schemed or thwarted.
I can do that.
Okay.
Yeah, I should do that because 2 thwart is strong.
If we're both in alter ego mode, he's going to get a scheme twice. So.
Yeah, we'll take care of it. Maria's got 2 as well. I'll get it. I'll get it wrecked. Okay, let's think about this. I mean, there's only 1 drone out there, so I'm not really in a hurry here. But I don't want to draw into hero action things and then feel like I made a mistake. I'm going to hold it. I'm going to wait. So let's swing with Black Panther. I'm going to do a 2 attack.
Okay, so 2 damage.
And I'll take 1 for retaliate.
Down to 24.
And I'm down to 9
Where's Hawkeye?
health. We're going to try. I'm going to flip
Give
for
me
my
Hawkeye.
turn. That's going to activate my alter ego Golden City to draw 2. Good. Good.
Guy.
Okay, let's do Maria Hill.
Okay.
It's going to do a 2 thwart, so remove 2, and that's going to be the end of her.
Okay, so when you thwart, you remove threat from the main scheme, or from a side scheme if you would rather.
Then the next step is the question here. I wish, now I could do it. I could get rid of that, but it would be painful to
This
do
thing?
that. Yeah.
I'm not overly, we're not going to get attacked this round, so it doesn't have to be this round. Also, Jonathan's saying, before I flipped to Peter, I should have taken a damage. I did take a damage, and then I recovered it with a first aid.
So let's do it like this. I'm going to play a Make the Call. Pay the printed cost of an ally in discard pile and put it into play under my control. Do you have any good allies over there that matter?
Not better than yours.
You don't really have any, do you?
I had 1, Mockingbird, but not better than yours.
That is a stun.
Yep.
I do like the stun on that, although he's not going to swing this time, but it isn't bad. That's a 3-coster.
Yep.
All right, give me a second to decide. 2. I don't mind that.
You want the Mockingbird?
Do you want a card? How important is a card? It doesn't matter. You're about to draw anyway.
Yeah. 0 matters to me.
Yes, I do want a Mockingbird.
All right. Stole my bird. And so did you? Yeah, here you go. So
After in his place, stun an enemy. Where's my stuns?
So the next time he would attack, it doesn't happen?
It doesn't happen.
That's
which is
good.
Very good. Okay, and then
Let's not forget that's my Mockingbird.
I won't forget. That's why you need those sleeves.
Yep. The sleeves that match.
And then I think my best route here is probably to attack straight away.
Okay. 1
So
damage.
1 damage.
Down to 23.
And then I'm going to end up holding, but I'm not. I'm going to pay 2, and again, burning a Wakanda Forever for the energy daggers to get ready for next turn.
Yeah.
I want to drop to the full 6.
I think that makes a lot of sense.
And then that'll get us ready for drone.
Also, next round, you're going to use this before you flip.
Yes.
So you're going to have a strong
Golden
next
City
turn.
is important.
Yeah.
Okay, I think my turn's done. Your turn's done?
That's it. Ready it all. Draw back to our hand size, which is now larger than life. These all would have been good to have. Before.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I'm in the exact same. I drew all those neutrals that you want early.
Yeah. It's cool.
Cool.
Great.
Good.
Okay, so now I'm first player, and instead of attacking this turn, he's actually going to scheme against us. So I'm the first player. He's going to scheme against me first. So boost it.
Boost.
And
then
I don't block when scheme's happening. So
scheme
oh, wait,
on.
actually, back up. Before we even get here,
Oh,
we
right
need
on.
2 tokens. I got them over here.
That gets bad. So we're going to advance hard right here.
Yeah.
All right, 2 scheme. That's the worst. 4.
Alter
Gonna
ego.
advance it right there.
Oh, it's not. Yeah.
Yeah, just the boost.
Hold on. Let me make sure that it's going to advance.
It's going to do 4.
Nope, can't do anything.
All right, so let's go ahead and
Thanks for playing.
crush that.
We're about to get smashed. Just watch it.
Assault on NORAD. As you pursue Ultron, you receive a distress call from the North American Aerospace Defense Command in Colorado.
Mockingbird takes a damage from
Oh,
retaliate.
right on. Bummer. That's a
Thank you, stream.
horrible thing to do then. When revealed, each player puts the top card of their deck into play face down, engaging them as a drone minion.
Cool.
And they're going to be scheming too. We're about to lose this straight away.
Where's Hawkeye? Where's
I
Hawkeye?
know, right? Advance to stage 2B. Okay, so this is a 20. We got 20 threat to work with on this one. If Ultron gains control of NORAD, he will have access to the United States Ballistic Missile Command. After placing threat here during step 1 of the villain phase, each player must choose to either place 2 threat here or throw a drone out. So we can decide how we want to lose. And that's the end of the scheme, and then your 2 buddies scheme as well. Is that right?
Yep.
No boost, thankfully. They don't get any pluses from anything on the board, right?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Not yet.
And then I'm going to get schemed.
Oh, man.
It's only 3.
Oh, it's not revealed.
Not revealed. So 5, and this doesn't resolve because we're not placing threat during this step. So here comes 5, though. Ugh. How is this
We're at
doable?
7 already.
Wow.
Great.
Okay.
This next turn is going to be big. Big money.
It's got to be a big turn for
Yeah.
us next turn.
I think we're doing all right. We only have 2 stages to defeat, and we're halfway through this one. So
Scheme here from my drone friend.
just out of casual 8 out of 20.
And that happened pretty quickly, didn't it?
Pops are asking minion scheme as well. Yes, they do.
They are. They're scheming hard. All right, so we did that. That hurt. Deal an encounter card to each player. Now we still do more bad stuff. You first, me second.
All
And
right,
then
let's
start resolving.
Shadow of the Past. It's even got Spidey on it. I love the big eye reaction Spidey.
It's your side scheme.
The
bad one.
Oh. When revealed, reveal your set-aside Nemesis minion and put it into play engaged with you. Reveal your set-aside Nemesis side scheme and put it into play. Shuffle the rest of your set-aside Nemesis counter deck, anything counter deck. If your Nemesis minion does not enter the game this way, this card gains surge. So, here's how this works. We're actually getting to show all the hits here, and we're going to be gone quick.
Bad.
Yeah, bad.
Bad.
All right, so first off,
Bad.
Vulture engages with me. I'll just read him real quick. Quick Strike. After this minion engages your hero, it attacks. We'll deal with that in a second. Where's this side scheme? Highway Robbery side scheme.
Right here.
When revealed, each player places a random card from their hand face down here. When defeated, return those cards to their owner's hand. So,
And 1 acceleration.
yep. So that it adds 1 to the main scheme when we add those every time.
And it has, this is one of those weird ones. So it has 6 per player. This is the thing that I like least about this game so far.
Wait, 3 per player.
Well, yeah, 3 per player. And we are having to remove threat, and then it will go away. So just keep your mind in that way.
Yeah, it's bizarre. So I'm going to shuffle these other 3 cards into the deck like it
Right.
instructed me.
Then you're going to resolve. Which one do you want to resolve first? When revealed here and after this minion engages your hero. Technically, do you reveal the villain first, do you think?
It told me.
I think it said the villain first and then the side scheme. Let's do it like that.
Where's the card that was? Oh, here it is. Reveal your status of Nemesis minion and put it into play engage. So that happens first.
After this minion engages your hero, it attacks. So yeah, let's go ahead and do that.
So he's going to attack. And it's just a 3 attack here.
Minions don't get boost.
So the weird thing is, I'm not in hero mode.
I mean, I think it would attack, right? After this minion engages your hero, it attacks. I wonder if an attack could also be a scheme. No, it says there's a difference between attack and scheme. I think it would do it, man. I think he would get hit. I think that's kind of the vulture thing.
So I'm just going to take 3. Because that's what I assume is happening
right
here.
Yeah.
It's the Grim rule from Markham.
Yeah, there you go.
And then that's all that happens, is all that.
And then we do 1 random face down on highway robbery.
Oh, God.
Do you want me to pick, or do you want to...
Yeah, you can pick randomly. Let's see.
Yeah, there's some confusion. Retaliate is not an attack, so taking damage is not equal attacking. It's a specific action in the game.
Steven.
Did I take the wrong one?
That was not the card.
Do you get to look? I guess we would know. I already know. I hate it.
I hate it.
Awesome. Thanks.
You're welcome.
That was bad.
Vincent asking, what's the strategy guide you're referring to, and will it have a timing chart? So there's a rules reference guide that comes in the core set that will have a breakdown of all of the timing and whatnot. The strategy guide is a PDF that we're putting together that is basically an in-depth look at everything from the core set, how to build, strategies, advice, everything we're going to be learning the next couple of months from playing the game. So that basically by the time your core set shows up, you're months ahead in terms of those kind of experiences. And we're going to cover every hero, every aspect, and just give a bunch of advice on basically how to get the most out of your core set.
I'm curious. You think like the hero can be attacked if they're not in hero mode? Maybe is that like maybe that's one of your oh okay, here we go.
You solving it?
Card abilities can cause the villain or minion to attack at other times if the ability explicitly instructs the villain or minion to attack.
Okay, so he attacked me.
I think
I just
straight up
can't
attacked.
defend.
Yeah,
because
that's
I'm
it.
In Parker mode.
Yeah, and then otherwise it said a hero. Yeah. So I think we should just do it as poorly for us as possible.
Yeah, that's right. I'm following the Grim rule. So that was my card.
That was your card. Cool.
I'm excited that we saw this for the first time. That seems bad.
Oh no, it's his program transmitter. Attached to Ultron. After Ultron schemes, place 1 threat on each side scheme. Cool. We can exhaust our hero and spend 2 mentals to discard this card.
That's going to be my
Remember
role.
when we talked about how this is going to keep getting worse?
Here we are. Happy golden days. You're going to have 2 energy this round. You're going to get rid of that one. I'll get rid of that one. Tag team.
I do have 2 energy. Do you want me to? I feel like we should. Yeah. You want to
on
address
this next
them down?
round, we're not. I mean, we can't right now, this moment, but we will in a minute. Yeah.
All right. Consider it revealed, and then pass the pass the first player token over to me.
Get that thing out of here.
Thank you.
You got to wait for me to get a bunch of cards in my hand.
In your turn. Okay. You may play cards, etc. Okay. So I'm going to take a turn. Am I cool to take a turn? Can you get Vulture not looking at me?
Why is he looking at me?
Scary.
Yeah. I'm going to think about my board organization here.
I'm going to draw 2. Obviously. First things first.
I'm the realist. Deep cuts. Deep cuts.
Do I play the mansion right now? I can't afford 4.
Dude, we are only a quarter through this game. If we are
If we're lucky, we're a quarter through this game.
We're fine. We're fine.
Oh, man.
I'm going to put a blank out of here. This makes more sense to me.
Okay, there's going to be... Can you entertain the people while I think
Oh,
about
yeah,
this for a second?
if you have questions, now is the time, because Steven's going to be calculating his magnum opus of a turn here. A lot of damage, a lot of scheming. That's what we need. Remember, this is your duty right here. Man, me losing that card that I just lost is Vulture just being a punk.
Yeah, troubling. Extremely troubling.
So the mansion is actually not unique, right?
No.
So
1 per player, though.
It says 1 per player, so you can actually have up to 3 copies in your deck, but you can only ever play 1, and you can't put 1 into play for a friend. So it's kind of like unique, except for there's a rule that if it's unique, you can actually only have 1 copy of it in your deck. So it lets you play a couple of them, but whether or not you should is a good question. Right now, I think we're both on 1 mansion and 1 helicarrier, which are kind of similar One costs 3, one costs 4, and they either give you a card or a resource. And in this game, a card is a resource, so it's kind of the same.
All right, Zach, here we go. You ready?
Here. Let's do it.
Okay, I'm playing the Avengers Mansion. Aren't you excited? I'm going to pay for it with some
excited.
vibranium.
Okay.
So our plan was working.
Our plan is hatching.
Tenacity.
It's my
and,
card.
Believe it or not, a helicarrier.
There.
There's only so much forward-thinking things you can play.
Why do you like the mansion better than the helicarrier here?
Because a mansion's equal to a resource, but it could also be a card. This is only ever a resource. That makes sense? The other piece of this is that I had the right amount of resources to play both, but if I play the helicarrier, I'd be wasting...
Oh yeah, for some reason I thought helicarrier drew a card.
No.
And this was the -1. I was like, that's actually just strictly better.
And I'm going to give this to you probably. So
the card.
Yeah,
oh,
that's one of the other things that I like about it. Okay, so there's 4 for the mansion.
That's funny. Someone said they saw 14,605 futures of the outcome of this session.
I'm going to flip. I don't think I need to recover. No, I would only recover 2. Flip to my hero mode. Get ready.
Show me the magic, Black Panther.
We're going to use the hero action in exhaust and get rid of that stupid thing, which I don't even know tempo-wise if that's correct.
So, I mean, it's basically retaliate and +1 damage on all of his attacks instead of your 1 attack that we're missing out on.
Yeah, that seems good.
That has to check out.
Then we will play the Wakanda Forever.
Oh, yeah.
With 1 resource, and we will resolve all of my Black Panther upgrades. I only have 1. Choose a player, deal 1 damage to the villain and each enemy engaged with that player. 2 damage instead of this is the final step of the sequence. So let's choose you.
Yay.
So we're going to do 2 damage to each enemy engaged with you and
Ultron.
to the villain. Yes.
So and he doesn't have retaliate.
And it's not even technically an attack.
Oh, that's the best.
Yeah. So it's just raw
both
damage.
of these drones go away.
Yeah.
Vulture's going to take 2, which is going to be great.
Yeah.
Because I have he has 4 health. I thought he only had 3.
And then did you do 2 to the main villain?
Yep, he's down to 21.
Thank you, Black Panther.
Feeling good about it, and I'll be friendly and help you with that problem you have over there.
You want a card, I assume? I'm not going to use
sure.
it. Yep. Card over to you.
May as well.
And you could have called for that during your turn too, which is cool.
Yep. So basically, you can call for an action. Anything like on the Avengers Mansion, if you look, it says in bold action. Same with cards in your hand. You can actually ask someone on your team, hey, do you want to perform an action or do you want to perform a specific action in the midst of me taking my sequence?
And now the question is, do you leave Mockingbird? You probably kill the drone.
Well, I can kill her with Black Cat.
That's easier, yeah.
I feel like that's a block.
It's either a block, but look at this. That's a lot.
Yeah, we don't really have a schemer here.
I'm a great schemer. Actually, 2 is a great throw.
All right, you better be ready to start forwarding.
But yeah, I've got to get there, and I've got 4 more upgrades I haven't seen
this has to get to 20. He's going to attack us both this round, so it's only going to go up a couple.
One of them's going to be a stun, and the other one's going to be you.
Yeah, which is fine. That's actually
that's
ideal.
what you're supposed to do. Yeah, we planned
exactly,
it perfectly like that.
I meant to say it earlier. I was like, that stun's actually really good because by the time you're first player is when it'll happen.
I'm going to leave Mockingbird up. Yeah. You think you can take care of that drone? Is that worth it, or can you? Do you want me to do 1 to Vulture, and you can do 1 with Black Cat and get him out of here? That's a 3 attack you're dealing with there. Next turn.
Yeah, that's fine.
You want to do that?
That's fine.
Okay.
I mean, it's not going to attack you, so you may as well. Yeah, I think that's good.
All right, Mockingbird, 1 damage to Vulture.
All right, let's upgrade to my 3 here.
Takes 1 damage because of the little icon under the attack symbol.
Okay.
And then
now it's mine.
Now it's yours. Yeah.
All right, let's think about this. I have a few
How many
resources.
Wakandas have I burned through? 1, 2.
All right, I'm going to
3.
play a card I dogged on in our original unboxing, and now that I love it, I'm going to use Peter's resource, and wait a second. Better yet, exhaust your hero. Oh, I can't use it when I'm in Peter's side, so that's cool.
Yeah, it's a bummer.
I'm going to use the Power of Protection. It counts as 2 when I'm playing for a protection card. I'm going to play a med team using his free resource. So it comes in play with 3 tokens. Can I get 3 tokens?
Absolutely.
And I can basically exhaust it to heal 2 from something.
Great with allies.
Which is great with allies, which hopefully you have out in a minute.
It's not bad with heroes.
I'm going to go ahead and use it to recover 2 on old Parker. Going up to 9.
Just remember, if you end the game with 1 health, you have played the correct game.
You've played the ideal.
If both of us end at 1 health, we have maximized our efficiency.
Let's go with I need those for that. So I need to save that. Remind me of that. I just have to remember these things. It's easy to forget. I'm all used out here, so I'm going to flip over to Spidey mode.
Mm-hmm.
And
now you can use your web shooter. That's a bonus.
Let's discard these two and exhaust Spider-Man to get rid of this. That's a bummer to have to do that.
It is, but we're going to be glad we did it.
Black Cat's going to punch Vulture. He's going to go to the discard pile.
I can't wait to get an Inspired on that. Hopefully I'll draw one next turn. I've got one left.
Black Cat's so good.
This team, getting Black Cat Inspired is critical. Getting Hawkeye on the board, who I haven't seen yet, is critical.
Yeah, it's good.
I haven't seen 4 with the Black Panther.
It's
about to get good.
I'm just saying.
We've got 3 cards coming in next turn.
I mean, we're ready to rumble. We're talking a big game here. It's going to go horrible.
Yeah. Okay.
And then I'm going to spend so this is interesting, right? I have a free resource here, which I typically in my brain, it's just like use those resources as fast as I can. But I have a way, I'm going to play Indomitable, and I'm going to use my last card.
Yeah, you may as well, right?
So I may as well save that resource for a turn when I actually need the boost. Otherwise, I just have a card sitting in my hand, and then I'd draw back up, and it wouldn't matter anyway.
I think so.
Okay, that's my turn. And now we're off to the races here. So we draw back up.
Ding, ding, ding.
I also didn't take care of that.
Hey, thanks.
Oh, well, you made the tag team idea.
That's fine. We'll scheme it. It'll scheme. It's just a little schemer.
Little schemer.
All right, now Black Panther only has 5 hand size, which is actually, I said only, but that's pretty good out of the core set. So, like I said, he really doesn't mind staying in. Oh, there you go.
This is a great hand.
Oh my gosh.
Steven Esteban.
Oh my gosh, this is excellent.
Great. We've done it.
But I think it's going to take a build turn for me.
Your next turn was build anyway. Because you
can be
get the 2 free
the
cards,
Hawkman.
get the card, get the Hawkeye going, get another upgrade on Panther, and then we're cruising and
Okay,
bruising.
then we got to cruise in the
cruising
late
and
game.
bruising.
This is where the heroes are taking it in the middle of the movie.
Yeah. All right. So you're the first player?
Yeah, sorry.
Yep.
Place threat on the main scheme. Is there anything that happens when that normally happens? Yes. After placing threat here during step 1 of the villain phase, each player must choose to either place 2 more or take a drone. So I'm going to place 3 because it's the framework, and +1 from that accelerator there.
Yep.
So normally it would be 2, and now it's a 3. And then do we want to, now we'll make the decision separately. I can choose to add 2 threat or take a drone. I'm going to take a drone. And let me tell you, I've got these energy daggers. They may get used next turn, so.
It's really nice because you can use your Black Panther cards before flipping over.
That's right. There's a
And then
certain
drawing, yeah.
tempo here that I'm finding.
Now, it's either put 2 there or a drone.
Yeah, or a drone.
I mean, it's worth pointing out the drone's going to scheme.
The drone is 1. Yeah. You think 1's greater than 2?
Well, you have to also then deal with it, right?
That's true.
Yeah, if I had those, I would be okay with it.
Yeah, I think that's.
But as for me,
for
so
me
then
and
I have
my
to make the
house.
choice?
Yeah, you're going to do 2? You're going to do 2.
Yeah, I'm going to add 2. Because I feel like you're going to use that ability on yourself. So.
Yeah.
So it's at 13 out of 20. He's got 21 health left. Worth pointing out.
Everything's fine, right?
Everything's fine. He's
Everything's
not
fine.
scheming again this round, so we're doing.
Villain activates. Going to try to attack me as the first player and will not be able to. Next time it would attack, discard this instead. So nothing triggers, no drones happen. It's a good moment. Excellent.
Someone asked if we'll be selling Spanish, Italian, French versions of the game. We will not. All of our versions are going to be English.
Yeah. Bummer. Ultron's going to attack you. So we're going to give a boost card. You're going to decide, do you want to defend? And let's not forget, I could technically defend for you if that was absolutely necessary.
It's not at all. I will defend. So when I initiate, I draw a card. And then...
Oh, wait, my minion boys will attack too.
This. Oh, they do attack.
Are we going to play the Retaliate 1 works? On both? After this character is attacked, deal 1 damage.
Dude.
But players are attacked, not characters. That's what I don't understand.
But it says after this character is attacked. These
Yeah.
guys literally attack. Well,
It says they attack the player. But in that case, Black Panther's never attacked.
it's going really poorly for us. So let's
Okay,
just give it.
let's get him rid of
We'll clarify that. Those 2 guys are gone. That's even better. Take 2 damage. I'll heal you 2 on the next round. They're just gone. Bye, Felicia.
Hey, I blame it on Caleb.
Hey, wait.
If you're not writing the rules,
You got that vision sitting there. Be aware.
I got that card that I can play it out of the discard pile.
Yeah.
That'd be good.
Well, then you're gonna have all these cards going on. So I can see now.
I'll have some moments.
Get it? His name is Vision. Anyways, What's going on? What am I missing? Oh, he's attacking me, and I'm blocking for 4.
You're defending.
So I'm going to flip this over. When he attacks, I get a drone, right?
Yep. And you also draw your card. Did you do that?
I did. Yep.
Okay. So here comes 2 damage plus 3 damage
Nothing.
plus nothing. 3 damage is well defended, Spidey.
So Spidey does it, and I will, of course, Indomitable, discard it, and ready with Spider-Man.
Good job.
And then this thing attacks me now?
Yep. 1
so
damage.
Then I'll just take 1. Easy.
Okay. Easy peasy. Did we do all of that?
We did it all, yeah.
Let me make sure.
And this doesn't do anything?
+1, no.
No?
When revealed, no. When defeated, didn't matter. And then NORAD, we did.
I feel like that went pretty okay.
Yeah, that was as good as we could ask. But we got to do the bad cards as well. So.
Oh, well, it could get worse, you know?
That's always, I feel like after the attacks, it's like, oh, that was fun.
Oh, we
Now
made
it's
it. And it's like, oh,
this is
God.
bad. Oh, cool. When revealed, place 4 threat on each side scheme. So we've now entered the world where this is here forever. I think we both agree on that, right?
Does this have Surge? Is this an expert card?
If there are no side schemes, you reveal 1 until there is 1. So or you discard until there is. So that was actually good for us.
That's pretty good.
That is
Master
plan. And honestly, this is just going to be here forever, right?
Yeah, we got a +1 accelerate. We don't have the scheme ability that spending 10 on this is ever going to
We're
mess
also
up.
not really getting our swings in as hard as we need to. Next turn will be good.
We've been building, dude. Anyways, look at this beautiful. This is 2 expert cards in a row. Someone needs to shuffle better. It's probably me. Exhaustion. Surge. When revealed, exhaust your identity card.
Did you get your Spidey sense from the drone? We got you in chat whenever you took this attack.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Give me a cancel. Nope.
What does it say? What's it called? Exhaustion.
Awful.
Exhaust your identity and surge it?
Yep. So let's get another one. Sweeping Swoop. When revealed, stun your hero. If Volter is in play, this card gains Surge.
He's not.
He's not in play. And if this was revealed as a boost, this activation deals damage to a friendly character, stun that character. That's cool. I like that art.
That's a beautiful art.
Sweeping Swoop.
Incredibly good art.
So I got exhausted and stunned. He's gone.
Yeah, so you're just on the defending train from now on, right?
I mean, I'm on the never see the side of the...
You can't burn an attack on a stun at this point in the game, I hope.
I mean, I'm going to have to, though. Fort's not exactly my strong
maybe
suit.
at some point, I don't know.
All right.
I'm just saying. People were talking.
People were talking. We're good?
Did we get it? Yep.
I do
Pass
think
the
that
first
was,
player token.
that
It's
was
yours.
everything. Sweet.
Okay. And now we get to start playing.
Now, can you do the math on your hand to make sure that you're not going to want me to draw a card at some point?
Do you need a card?
I'm not ever going to say no.
I mean, what does it mean to you?
Let me do the math real quick.
Okay.
All right, I'm going to do this. I'm going to replace Web Shooter with another Web Shooter by paying for it with Web Shooter. You know what I mean?
It's web shooters all the way down, man.
Just shooting webs all around. That seems okay. Let's do this. I'm going to...
I think I'm going to need that card, honestly, unless you absolutely need it.
I don't. I'm going to use one of these resources from Web Shooter, and I'm going to play a Spider Tracer here, attach to a minion, and then I'm going to use Black Cat to attack it, so I'll defeat it.
That's
when
so
attached
awesome.
minion is defeated, remove 3 threat from a scheme. So yeah, you got it.
Very cool, man. I like that.
Just dancing around. Do you need some help? I'm going to heal something.
I don't need healing. It couldn't hurt, honestly, but I may end up recovering this turn.
I'll just heal myself.
Yeah, take care of yourself. Wait, what's your max HP?
10.
Okay, so you're back to max.
Yeah. I just feel like I'm going to be taking some pain in the future. Let's see here. Swippity swappity swoop. Well.
Well, dude.
This is interesting. And I use this. So careful. Remember. Oh, and I flip over to Parker. I'm going to get a...
You're going to get a bonus buck. Spidey buck.
A Spidey buck. But I can't take a hero action when I'm in Spidey bucks.
Yeah.
So let's save that. That's my
you could
Spidey
heal
buck
me and
hand.
you could recover instead.
Well,
If you want to do that.
I'm going to get rid of that stun. I can't.
Okay.
I can't let that up. I'm just going to go ahead and do that.
Does it just aggravate you?
I just don't like seeing it. You know.
Do you need the card? I mean, if you must have a card, but
Must isn't really a part of this equation.
I agree.
Okay. 2.
I agree.
I feel like.
Man, you've got a lot of... See, this is the interesting... I was worried that there wouldn't be enough, like, kind of the agency factor in the game, where you're not making meaningful decisions, but you make a lot of... What you play every turn is excruciating.
Yeah. I agree.
There's always at least 2 to 3 good options, I feel like.
Just not moving anywhere. You know?
Yeah, I feel like we're treading water here.
All right, let's do this. I'm going to play a swinging web kick.
Swoopity swip.
Pay him 3 for it. We'll do 8. Going to get him down to 13.
That's what I'm talking about right there.
Yep, some serious movement.
Never retaliate because we made good long-term decisions.
Yep, we're betting on the future here. That's what this is all about. Then I'll flip over to Peter Parker mode. I'll use my free resource to play my lovely Aunt May.
Oh, nice.
And actually, I'm going to heal you two instead back in the day, and then I'll Aunt May to heal myself back up.
Yeah, that's totally fine.
Because
we can rewrite the pains in the comic book.
That's right.
And we're in the editing phase.
That's all I can do. But I'm feeling pretty.
You happy with that?
Okay. I mean, I'm not. It's not great.
Okay. Try this on for size. Let's exhaust the Avengers Mansion. I'm gonna put these guys up here. I feel like they're more like I like that. It looks way cooler. Yeah. I'm gonna give myself a card. Wait a minute. Oh yeah, I have a Mockingbird as well, don't I?
Yep. Is my Mockingbird in your discard pile?
Yeah, you're right. There you go.
Got him.
That will happen. That will happen.
Different color sleeves, I suppose.
Okay. Now I'm gonna make a gamble here.
All right.
Okay.
Bet big.
Let's go. Ugh. Ugh. All right, hold on.
I'm holding. If you guys have any questions, feel free to hit them in chat. That way I have something to do. Got him.
Can you reduce any costs or anything over there?
No, man.
You already readied all your stuff there?
I mean, I shouldn't have. But I don't play by the rules, though. I have a card I could give you. I can't really, but I would love to.
Hawkeye is just really important here.
You mean every time that a drone comes out, you can immediately murder it, and then we can block with them and then put him back into play and keep doing that forever?
Yeah, precisely. Although it might be one turn away, I'll be honest with you.
I mean, he's not going to attack us this round, so they're not going to come out from that. He's not attacking me, at least. Also, Retaliate is super good against them.
It's really good.
Yeah, I can just
if it works the way that we think it does.
The chat seems to think so. So we have at least a couple hundred people on our side.
All right, I haven't fully thought this out.
Brennan asked me how I'm enjoying Protection Spider-Man. It's my favorite version of Spider-Man so far. I think he has enough offense in his signature cards, and it allows him to really use that defense stat and fill in a pretty good role on the team. Also, like backflip is super good because he can take a big 8, 9, 10 damage attack and just cancel it. So I'm a fan. Galactus getting in here.
Okay.
I got my eyes on you.
I mean, Zach, I'm not gonna lie, man. How much damage is over there on Ultron?
13. You gonna bring the pain? Can you get 13 here?
No.
Can you get close?
You know, can I just go on a diatribe about Black Panther?
Hey man, I'm just here to hang out.
You're just sitting here with these Wakanda Forevers. You know you can't discard them. I've got 3 in the can here, so these are my last 2 Wakanda Forevers, and I've drawn 1 upgrade.
Have you done this yet?
No, but I have to go to Alter Ego, and Wakanda Forever is a hero action. So you're now beginning to see the problem, as I understand it.
By the way, someone earlier said I draw cards when I got droned, and it's just not true. When the villain initiates an attack against you, I think this is the villain.
Oh yeah, you did. I told you to.
Yep.
Yeah, sorry.
So it was you. I was passive aggressively calling you out on that, I guess.
Okay. Well, worst case scenario, I just make mistakes. Vibranium into Shuri, which really should have been happening the first turn, but she didn't show up until very later. Enters play, search for an upgrade.
Oh,
which
great.
There are all of them right here.
Out of like the bottom 6 cards in your deck?
Yeah. Okay, so let's do you think scheming, or I feel like damage is kind of where we are right now.
I mean, there's a mild amount of scheming that's worthwhile.
Do you think scheme? I think maybe scheme is best. 2 threat versus 4 damage. That's right down the line the same thing. Totally the same thing. Okay, let's do Tactical Genius.
What's that do? for those at home.
Remove a threat from the scheme. 2 if it's the final step of the Black Panther sequence.
Okay.
Okay. Not a problem.
Deck's getting thin.
Yeah. Now the question is, if I'm going to get a chance at Hawkeye next turn, and how many of my play out of the discard cards do I have?
You about to go crazy on the Wakanda Forever train?
Well, I'm only going to play it once, but that's about as crazy as I can get. I know. Okay, so I'm all out of there. Tell me, Zach, what do you think? What do you think is more important, Hawkeye? It's Hawkeye, isn't it?
I mean, are you going to be in alter ego mode?
I'm going to get there. Yes.
So the number of drones that are going to come out is not super high.
It is going to be small. But dang, are you in alter ego as well?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're going to get one from this thing, right? Either we have threat or a drone, and it's going to be a drone, let me tell you.
Okay, I'm going to do it like this then. And unfortunately, Wakanda is a hero action. Let's do discard Mockingbird and Hawkeye to play a Tactical Genius.
I see what you're doing here.
We're going to build for the future.
Hopefully we don't have to shuffle that deck.
Then
Hawkeye be gone.
I'm going to play a Wakanda Forever with a Wakanda Forever. So then we're going to do 1 damage to everything. So let's just do 1 damage here.
And then we're going to shuffle your deck.
2 threat. Yeah, that's just got to happen. We can't be scared. I move 2 from there. Then I'm going to go ahead and do a 2 thwart.
Okay. 2 here.
Move 2 more, yeah. And then we're going to do let's do a 1 thwart as well. I'm just going to play Spirit here. And then we're going to flip. We're going to draw
downtown.
2. See if we can get anything else out of this. Kind of can. You got an ally over there that's particularly good to ready? No?
Nope.
You really don't? Can't reduce my costs at all?
Nope.
And I'm going to draw 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to draw up, and we're going to have to figure that out. If that means that...
Well, when he gets a drone in a second.
Yeah, that'll do it as well. 1 more thwart, maybe? I'm gonna kill Shuri, basically. That's my game plan. Ready, and then attack again for... Let's go and just do an attack, I think. That's
damage?
fine. No, let's do the thwart.
All right.
Better value for sure. 3 and 1. 1 thwart versus 1 damage. Didn't we decide 1 resource is 2 damage and 1 resource is 1 thwart?
Yeah.
Usually. So she'll take
in our spreadsheet.
In our spreadsheet. And then I'll hold this. Because
Now,
that's all that
technically,
I
going
can
to
do.
the next round, I could heal Shuri.
Yeah, but I want her discarded and playable
Replayable.
with the
Totally.
leadership
Cool.
cards, yeah.
Okay.
All right, I think we're done
All right.
with everything.
Let's do this, and we draw
let's
back
go
up.
Draw up to 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I will need to reshuffle.
This is aggravating.
And I believe that I take that card. Let's look it up.
Probably right now.
And before I get my last from the draw, probably.
What am I looking for here?
Basically, when you run out of deck, when that threat card comes in.
What is that going to be under?
Deck, run
Discard?
out, mill.
These are like a lot of my least favorite words.
I'm going to go ahead and resolve it now, and then I'm going to draw.
Let's look at the index.
Discard an upgrade or support you control. Okay. Caught off guard. I'm not going to discard a Black Panther thing because that's the point of my
It
life.
can't be an ally.
It cannot be an ally. I think I've got to stick with the Golden City, right? 2 cards next turn versus 1 and 1. Even though the 4-2 split makes you question it, doesn't it? It's gone.
Yep.
And then I'll draw.
I'm not even going to try.
You do your things, and I'll find this.
Okay.
Steven to the rescue.
Am I the first player here? All right, so I'm just going to run through the turn, eh?
Yeah, do all the bad
villain
stuff, would you?
sequence. Threat on the main scheme, so it's 3 because of the acceleration token, so now we're back at 7. The villain activates once per player in player order. If I'm a hero, I'm not alter ego, he schemes. So, and actually when this happens, we choose. Either place 2 threat here or put the top card into play, engage with you as a thing. So I'm going to choose to place 2 threat.
Still going the 2 threat route, huh?
Well, yes. He's boosted every time, and then I have to deal with it. I don't have the actions to do that. What would you like to do? You want a minion?
What do you think?
I like your retaliate a lot.
Yeah, I won't have it until next turn.
Oh, I don't like it as much.
But I will have it, energy daggers will probably trigger if things go well.
He's not going to attack you, so it would be the only one he has out.
Let's just do 2.
All right. Up to 11 out of 20.
Oh, no, he's about to scheme, too. I've got to do this. I'd take 1 over 2.
Okay.
I think we could just straight up get wrecked here.
Okay. Then the next thing here, he's going to scheme. So he'll scheme against me first. This is a boost card. Let's see if I have anything.
Empty player deck. That's what it's under. Nice.
Ooh, this could be bad. All right, here we go. Oh my gosh. I got the 3rd expert card. Under fire. It's got Surge. When revealed, reveal the top card of the encounter deck. So reveal this.
What does that mean?
Oh wait, this is a boost. He's scheming.
Oh, right on. Yeah. Just 3. It's just 3. Don't worry.
So 5 scheme.
All right. That's an easy
You got
token.
a 5, yeah. So now we're at 14,
Everything's fine.
and nothing else happens.
Take a moment for the boring rules break. If a player deck runs out of cards, the player shuffles their discard pile to make a new deck. That player immediately deals themselves 1 card from the encounter deck. If the player's draw deck empties and reshuffles while the player was drawing cards, you continue to draw cards up to the specified number. If this happened while the player was discarding cards from their deck, no cards are discarded from the newly shuffled deck. So if you were supposed to discard 10 cards, you only had 1, you would only discard 1 and then reshuffle.
That's wild. Good to know.
Yeah, good to
The more you know. All right, so he's now scheming against you.
Oh, yeah?
Yep. Here's his boost. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Plus,
1.
Well,
Wait.
that's a boost. Deal 1 damage to each character you control.
Okay.
Concussive blast for those
Okay,
at home.
cool. So Shuri goes, which I kind of wanted. And then T'Challa takes 1 damage.
And then he schemes for 2.
Hey, that was not bad.
So we are at 16 out of 20.
Let's make this a 5.
Yikes.
That was actually okay, but do we still have to do the bad cards, don't we?
Yeah.
Ah, we do. Ah!
Now we do the encounter cards.
Why is this the worst? Oh, wait.
Oh.
Scheming Minion. 1. Ding.
Oh. You ready for this? The Vulture's Plans. When revealed, discard 1 card at random from each player's hand. Place 1 threat on the main scheme for each different resource type discarded in this way.
We're going to get tanked here. This one. Is this a good one?
Not that one. I could have canceled. No, I'm not in hero mode. So we have a mental, which I'm going to assume is not in your hand.
It's going to, hold on, let's see, like odds. You have a 1 out of 3.
That's not bad.
Not bad.
I'd take 1 in 3 odds all day long.
I'd take that in Netrunner every run. But we all know how the odds work.
Didn't hit it.
Didn't
I got
hit
rid
it.
of
Instead, you got rid of my favorite upgrade. Thank you, Zach.
You're welcome.
So 2, is that right?
Yep.
That's
so
at
this
19.
turns into a 3.
So as long as my card doesn't add scheme, we're fine.
I mean, fine is a word, I guess.
When revealed, put the top card as a drone minion. Cool. So we just Android efficiency. Everybody gets a minion or a drone.
Me
So
too.
Drone and drone. Yep. Ouch. Hey, we're okay.
It could have gone worse. It could be going a lot better, though.
Okay, pass the first player token. Boop. Put me in.
Put me in, coach.
And now it's my turn to shine. That's true, right?
Sure.
Okay. All right, let's start it out with the Golden City, of course, because I am in alter ego mode. I may as well draw 2. Oh, a double vibranium?
You better play something magnificent. Can you pass me one? Can you give old Petey a rent check?
Okay. Well, I'm going to build, but I'm not going to have a... Well, okay, no, we know what to do here. We're going to do a vibranium for Maria. Everybody's going to draw a card.
Ah, great.
1 card for 1 card, resources for resources. Let's keep Maria up here.
Man, I feel like I cannot get away from med teams. It's the only thing I draw.
I'm going to play the suit. Not going to do anything yet, remember, until I start drawing those Wakanda Forevers again. Okay, then we have some decisions to make. And this is really the question.
Think about how many less minions are being played right now. If Hawkeye had been out.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Okay, do you want to be inspired over there? I feel like Black Cat being inspired is an important thing, even if you're just minion hunting the whole time. If you're just going to drone hunt, what does 2 damage matter as opposed to 1, you know?
I mean, the thing about it is that when I'm not minion hunting, I'm just +1 all the time.
Yeah, you're just
great.
better.
Do you have someone to upgrade that's better to upgrade? That you don't want to send to the discard pile and repeat?
No, I do not. Let's do that.
Come on over. So she gets +1 thwart and attack.
Discarding the old tenacity to pay for that. Get inspired, boy.
I'm about to drop a bomb card.
Slip to Black Panther.
You gonna get any thwarting action going? How many Wakanda Forevers can you play in a turn? 5?
As many as you can pay for. Yep.
Come on
and
now.
They're not in my hand, so
Oh,
but they'll be there.
6 in resources just looking at you.
Here we go though. Thwart
For 2?
for 2.
All right.
We're gonna get ready, a classic leadership card to ready an ally. We're gonna thwart for 2 again.
All right, saving the day. I like it.
And then we're going to Black Panther, thwart for 2, I think.
That's fine.
You think so?
Yeah.
Because we're gonna get attacks this turn, so I think we'll be okay. And my retaliate hopefully will do some work. And that's gonna be it.
It will definitely do some work.
Now,
All right.
I can play cards on your turn, right? Isn't that true?
You can take anything that has the word action.
Request actions. Yeah, okay.
Should I request an
If you
action?
need an ally readied, I can potentially contribute that to the cause.
Oh, okay. I mean, I could clear some things out. All right, let me look at this.
Or you could do 4. How much we got left?
This is gonna be a super simple turn. You ready for this?
Mm-hmm.
All right, Black Cat is just gonna, do the business here. If you want to ready me out, I would happily take one of these away.
Yeah, let's do it.
We'll
ready.
get rid of one of your drones.
We're wasting. The value is just. Oh, look, he got a Wakanda Forever. Cool.
Yeah, of course you
Ultron. Awesome.
Way to go, buddy.
Good job.
I'm gonna use one of these resources here, and I have to be in hero mode to do that. We'll do that in a second.
Still.
Yeah, same.
You know what? Hold on. Don't get rid of a drone. Just attack for 2. I feel like that's better because they're going to get retaliated off the board.
Okay, cool. I'll just heal you instead. How about that?
Yeah, that's
Heal you for
great.
2.
Yeah, that's actually great. I hope retaliate works like that. I feel like that's.
I think it seems like it does.
Yeah.
Just saying. 1. Not worth it. Not worth it. I'm just gonna lose a resource. Ah.
You can't do it. Play max efficiency.
There's nothing to do.
Maximize efficiency.
I'm gonna flip over to Spidey Zone, and this is gone. And then I'm going to use a resource here, and spend 3 cards. 1, 2, 3. To play Webbed Up.
Oh, good for you. I love that card
So when attached enemy would attack, discard this Webbed Up instead, then stun that enemy. So I'm just we'll have the stun.
I can't believe how good that is for 2 players especially.
So it's gonna cancel the next 2 attacks, which is super good at this very moment in the game.
Wow.
If you know what I'm talking
Really
about.
happy about that.
Yep, I am as well. Okay, and then Aunt May's just gonna stand there and look nice.
Do you want to do
hanging out.
2 damage there to the enemy?
Yeah,
I think that's
definitely
better.
do 2. So we're down to 8 on Ultron.
We're
I
about
don't
to-
need a thwart because you're not gonna scheme this round against us, which is good. It's gonna be a good round.
Mm-hmm.
You need to draw some Wakanda Forevers, or it's not gonna get any better.
Well, this could also be one, so we'll see. All right, well, have we done it? Are you done? Everything on your turn that you want to do?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's stand them up. And then draw up to our max hand size. All players have certainly finished.
Man,
5,
the order in which I'm drawing these cards
6.
is unfortunate. Unfortunate.
Yeah, me too, man. Me too. All right. I hate it.
So we'll proceed through the phase, place threat on the main scheme, which we will do 3 total. because of the acceleration token. And then we have to make the choice. Do we want a drone or 2 more on the old scheme? I think I'm going to take a drone.
I think I'm going to take a drone. I swear if that's 3 Wakandas forever, I'm going to walk away.
Just flip the table. I have to shuffle my deck because I'm out of deck. You said shuffle it now, right?
Wait, let's make sure. I think it's when you run out, yeah. It's page 6 for those keeping track. If you run out of cards, you reshuffle immediately and take the encounter card. Bummer. 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 Bummer.
Question while I'm shuffling. Someone said they're really excited for the release. This is Julietta. Decided she wanted to play Captain Marvel because thinks she's a real awesome and fantastic character. And she's pretty sure her husband is going to want to play as She-Hulk.
Yeah, She-Hulk's
Would you
awesome.
suggest she pair well in a 2-player game? She-Hulk and Captain Marvel. I think that'd be great.
Yeah, that'd be great. I love She-Hulk on aggression right now, and I think Captain Marvel Justice is one that we really like because of the energy resources.
Yeah. All right.
That'd be a good team to fight and scheme. It's kind of the fun.
So then I ran out of cards, so I'm going to take the top card immediately.
Yeah, resolve it.
Side scheme.
Oh no.
Ultron's imperative. Ultron directs his drone army through hive circuitry. When revealed, the first player must put the top 2 cards of their deck into play face down and engage with them as drone minions.
Why are you the worst?
And then it comes in with 2 per player, so it's going to be 4. And this is the plus card action, which means that when we're dealing cards at the end, we're going to deal an extra card.
The first player will get an additional card, yeah. And then if there's another one, the second player will also get an additional.
You're going to take 5, they're all going to go away.
Yeah, I hope we're playing that right. I mean, we have to be, right? That's how Retaliate works. Otherwise, this is garbage. If you have to be defending to retaliate one, it's garbage.
It could be garbage.
Yeah, we're not not afraid of that in this world, are we? Yeah, abilities that don't really work that well. Impossible.
All right. So you're first player. He's going to attack you first. It's going to get canceled from the webbed up.
What was everything that we just did? Was that all
this?
Okay. Right.
We advanced it, and then we had to choose.
You ran out of cards.
And I ran out of cards, so here we are. So webbed up is going to go away.
So that prevents the attack entirely.
Yep.
And stuns?
And then stuns him.
Oh my gosh.
So then all the minions attack you.
Oh, right on.
5 damage, 5 deaths.
5 damage, 5 deaths.
It's actually pretty nice.
Okay, let's see
you
what
just
we got
flip over
here.
and recover.
Wakanda forever, Wakanda forever.
Oh my goodness.
Energy, leadership, strength. 6 resources and 2
so
Wakanda.
two resources and 2 Wakanda
And just that
Forevers.
insult energy, the 2 wild ones.
Oh yeah,
of
perfect.
course.
Because there's like 6 Wakanda Forevers and the different
5.
energy types.
There's 5.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Okay. So then mine,
Yeah,
right?
that's fine. Right?
He attacks and he's stunned, so nothing happens.
Oh, I take 5, I guess.
And then
critical
I
piece of
will just take a damage here from the old drone. And then, just to make the turn more interesting, we each get one of these cards.
Yep, here we go. Oh wait, I get an extra one because of Ultron's imperative. Each player puts the top card as a drone, Android efficiency there, so here we go. And then my second card, I believe I resolve all mine at once, right? Oh no. Side scheme, invasive AI. When revealed, each player discards the top 3 cards of their deck.
Okay.
Not a problem, not a problem, not a problem. Oh great, what kind
It's
of
just
throw?
got 6 on it. And we get an extra card every round after this.
Yeah, not a problem, just 2 each.
You ready for this?
Mm-hmm.
Side scheme, Drone Factory.
Oh my
When
gosh.
revealed, each player puts the top card of their deck into play face down. Engage with them as a drone. Place 1 threat here for each drone minion in play. So just 5. I'll just use the 5 because we're never touching it. And it's also going to add +1 on the acceleration. So I feel like
it starts at 4 plus 5. See that little number? It starts at 4 plus the number of drones that are now with us.
oh. We don't have any schemers.
No, there's no amount of schemers that can do like 20. This isn't like
Great.
Eleanor or.
So but at this point, it's just we
Whatever it
got to
is.
sprint to the death.
Uh-huh.
Our death.
Yeah, no, we're good. Everything's totally fine here. Not a problem. Not a problem at all. Glad we recorded it.
Yeah, I'm glad this is the documented.
So we're not experts, I guess.
That's the end of the round.
Okay.
So now it's to us, and you pass the first player token.
There you go. Please take it.
Let's see what I want to do.
That's where that She-Hulk ground stomp would be in a really good spot here.
All right.
Boy. Boy, oh boy. You know, Hawkeye would have been good.
He would have been good.
I think Hawkeye would have been good.
Are you going to use your ability on my cats?
I currently don't have a way to trigger Wakanda powers. There are 3 in the discard pile, though. So there are 2 in here.
It's pretty rough when old Black Panther doesn't get...
Sometimes, you know, sometimes. You don't get cranky.
Well, okay.
But I also don't think that you need... I don't think that you need to that hard. I think probably the mistake is playing to it early harder than you should. Because there's a lot of good cards in this deck that are not just building Black Panther up. Maybe you do 1 a turn and you discard the rest and slowly get there for like turn 6 or 7.
Yeah, that's rough. All right, let's do this. I'll play a Haymaker with a resource.
Oh, just some
and
raw
discard.
damage.
We'll do 3 damage here, down to 5. We'll at least got to get this first version of Ultron off the board.
Yeah, we'll get him.
Then I'm going to think about this. What's up?
I'm just thinking, are you going to end up in Peter Parker mode or Spider-Man mode?
I don't know yet.
Okay.
I think I want to stay in Peter Parker mode. I can take some attacks. I can't take...
In Spider-Man?
Yeah.
I might end up down at the...
down at the old Wakanda Inn?
The T'Challa Hotel, yeah.
Yep, that's fine. So, I will... I gotta clear out some of these drones or it's gonna be ugly. Let's do this. I'm going to...
These need to go. You can't do anything, it's fine.
I'm gonna attack here. Get rid of one of these. Peter Parker is going to attack here.
Really? Can we even do that? I mean, can we worry about drones at this point?
Well, his thing is plus for every drone, right?
Yeah, that's very true.
+1 for every drone.
Yeah,
so I have a plan, though. Doesn't that make you feel safe? I have a plan, dude. Man, just dead cards. I drew 3 allies.
I didn't do well. What kind of, can you hand me your discard pile there?
Looking for, I'm going to put some better allies in here, too.
Please, I mean, I can get them. I can play them. I don't want to tell you exactly what I can do, but I can play your allies.
No, I'm going to stay here.
I might loot Cage and start defending.
No. I'm gonna put this in the discard pile too, in case you want to check out Black Widow. Then I'm just gonna pass.
Ooh, that's good. Black Widow's good. She's a thwarting beast too. Okay, I think we're gonna have to do a Mockingbird Stone on this. What do you think about that?
Say that again?
I think we're gonna have to do a Mockingbird Stone.
I like a Mockingbird.
Okay. I'm going to hold on to this for now. It's going to be relevant. And I'm going to have to think about how to play this.
My discard pile you're holding on to?
Yeah.
I'm into it.
Because I could also try to scoop a card draw off of Maria Hill. And that would give us both 1 more card. Not relevant now. I could do a Shuri. That would get the last of the upgrades out. But that's not really what I need right now. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, what I need right now is I need to run through this deck as hard as possible and get those Wakanda Forevers back.
Draw. Draw, draw, draw.
Draw, draw, draw.
You also have that card that puts cards back in your deck, right?
I do, and I have it in my hand. But
So
it's one of 3 different cards,
So
which
you
is
get
different.
1 Wakanda Forever back. That's still 3 left in that stack.
Yep. Should I take a crack at it? I mean, we're kind of throwing a Hail Mary here, aren't we? Which I do feel like is very relevant.
Gotta know your odds, right?
And it's Alter Ego to play that. So that actually matters.
Well, and this is Alter Ego too. So you're just queuing up for next round.
But this is Hero. So even if I drew it when I'm in Alter Ego, I can't flip back and play it.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a next turn situation. Isn't that right?
Yeah.
The best turn is next turn. Okay, so what I'm going to do with Black Panther here. I feel like a stun is better than a Black Widow. What do you got? 5 out of 2 damage. Oh man, this is bad.
You have any thwarting ability?
Yeah, you have 2.
Yeah.
And then some in your discard pile. Let's see if there's any in my discard pile. Maria's a to thwart. You know what? I'm going to do that. We're just going to have to start to think harder.
I'm going to put the odds of us winning at
5?
0.
I was going to go 5.
Have you seen the next Ultron? It will be painful.
No. Should we try to get there with an attack? Just like try to...
I have a way of maybe reducing the rest of his health with a single card.
If we do it this turn?
Yeah. If you don't attack, I can maybe just nuke him.
Okay. Then I'm going to thwart. And the question is, we can't have these all out.
But this is also at 16, and it's going to get +4.
Yeah, it's definitely going. But these two, I don't like these extra cards. I feel like those are devastating in the grand scheme of
Yeah, that's only at 4.
Yeah.
So maybe
So I'm going to do one there. Thwarted.
I've never seen so many side schemes hit in the same game.
Me neither. It's quite nice. Then we're going to flip to T'Challa.
Okay.
We're going to do a Ancient Knowledge. Choose up to 3 different cards in your discard pile and shuffle them into your deck. And we're going to pay for that with the Triskelion, which is not at all useful yet. And we are going to put a Wakanda Forever.
Yep, heard of that card. Do you want to put a wild version on?
Yeah, I guess we may as well. Where is the wild version? There it is. So we'll do a Wakanda Forever. Technically, it says 3 different cards. You know, they have different symbols on the bottom left.
I'm going to go name basis here.
Aren't those different? Then we'll do a Vibranium, because money. And then I'm going to go ahead and get, I think, Panther Claws back in.
Okay.
My last
Seems
upgrade. Good. So let's throw that in.
That seems particularly good once that deck gets small.
We're getting to the point where, like, if I could have 2 or 3 Wakanda Forevers in a turn, we can start doing some work.
Yeah, because you could remove 2 from each of these, right?
Yes.
Isn't that one of them? Whew,
yes.
That would be good. That would be good, Steven.
I don't know if we can do 2 from everything.
Isn't it
it's
2
just
from each?
a scheme. Each one is the energy daggers. It hits every enemy.
If it was 2 from each, we had a chance.
Yeah, it would be great.
My odds meter went back down to 0.01.
Agreed. Let's draw 2 with the Golden City.
You said let's like I was getting it. Not true.
We're going to make the call to put into play. Let's do this, this, and this. It's going to work for me.
I'm going to borrow these for a second.
To put Maria Hill into play. So a Vibranium and a make the call equals a Maria Hill. Everybody draws 1 card.
Oh. Perfect.
We've got a Hail Mary, maybe. Maria's going to do 1 damage to get rid of this.
Oh, yeah.
Ultron's Imperative is gone.
That's helpful.
Yeah.
2 thwart's pretty good on an ally for 2.
Mm-hmm. It's very good.
Because she draws a card, so technically you only pay 1 for her, plus your friend gets a resource. Yeah.
Let's hit this. Let's hit your discard pile now. Next. I think that's right. Make the call. 1, 2, 3. I think we've got to do that. So let's make the call with a Tenacity. No. Yeah. Tenacity. A Inspired. And a Nick Fury.
Okay. Getting the Black Widow in here.
We're going to put Mockingbird in to stun
Yep. That's super good.
Ultron.
I like
Because
that
you're
a
about
lot.
to get attacked, yeah.
Yep.
Then we're going to use Mockingbird. Should we thwart, probably? Let's thwart down this invasive AI. I'm going to get that teed up for next turn. We've got 3 and 2 from Panther.
Okay.
You can have this back. That's your discard pile.
Thank you much.
Thanks. Appreciate that. And I think that's it.
Okay.
I think that's about as good as it goes.
So let's ready. I'm the first player. I'm going to go and draw my cards. I swear the only card in this deck is Med Team. The only card in the deck.
Whoops.
All right. So it starts with me. We'll start with here. So it's going to get 4, which means it's going to advance. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Now, here's a question.
Are you first player right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it says, we need the timing chart here. After placing threat here during step 1 of villain phase, each player must either choose to place 2 threat here. That's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
So we'll each choose 2 threat because it's advanced anyway.
Is that how that's going to go?
After placing threat here during each step, or during step 1 of the villain phase, each player must choose to either place 2 threat here or put the top card in their deck, engage with them as a drone.
So let's see. After placing the threat, saying during each of these abilities that refer to any of the triggering conditions. I'm kind of curious, like, when does it flip and when do we resolve all those threats happening, right? So, like, it's going to flip over. Do we keep adding threat past where
I think
it was?
Would immediately just be gone. So it says after placing threat here. So when we hit 20, what happens there? Doesn't it just immediately flip?
And then you're saying it wouldn't resolve the delayed effect or whatever?
Even if we had to resolve the effect, it's having us put it on this. So we can still choose to put 2 threat on this.
Okay, you're saying this is just a different card. It's not saying put it on the overall like scheme.
Yeah, there's not like a scheme stack.
Okay, all right.
I can buy it a little bit.
I can do more of that. Deal an encounter card.
And Jared said he looked away for a few minutes and came back. What happened?
It got bad. It
Yeah.
got real bad. Let's do it like that, and then because like we're losing, and then I'll look that up after the game.
All right. Scheme 3A, Countdown to Oblivion. Sounds nice. Ultron has seized control of NORAD. It's only a matter of time before he overcomes the command safeguard and launches the nuclear arsenal. When revealed, each player puts the top card of their deck into play face down, engage with them as a drone minion. Advance to stage 3B. Thanks, Ultron. 3B, it's looking to get to 10. Not much. It's up to you to save the world from nuclear Armageddon. Sorry, world. Threat cannot be removed from this scheme. If this stage is completed, the players lose the game.
Threat cannot be removed, you say?
And we only need 10.
Well, we had no intention of removing it anyway. That's what they didn't know.
And we got +4 around. Sweet. But if we stay in hero mode, we have 3 turns to win.
Well, I feel like that is what we got to do, right?
Somehow.
Okay. That was just the beginning of the thing. Okay. Now the villain attacks activate. So going to try
I'm
to
first
attack
player.
you.
He's stunned. Then I take 2 damage.
2 boys. And then scheme against me for 2. So we could just pop this one right off here.
I need to look at my hand.
Can you cancel anything that's happening here?
Nope.
Well, let me make sure I still can't. Given the no card in my deck, we'll do it. Okay. +2.
Oh, sweet.
So that's 4.
4. So we now
5,
have
6,
1 more turn.
7 from my minions. Thanks, boys.
Oh, yeah. That's the thing.
So we essentially kind of have 1 turn. So unless we can do essentially like 50 damage in a turn, which maybe, I mean, you know, games have ways of providing endless opportunities.
Technically?
It's possible. Now let's do the bad cards, because let's not forget that we could just lose right here.
I'm going to get 1 extra one, right? So I'm going to get 2.
Yeah, you get 2.
And you get 1.
Yeah.
All right, first one. Advance. When revealed, the villain schemes.
Oh, no. No, Zach.
So it is schemes for 2, right?
Well, we need a boost of 0 to not lose here.
Boost of 2.
No, it's over.
We got schemed out of the game.
Let's see what happens. Does it tell us how bad
we
it
just
is?
lose. He just blows us all
it's
up.
Just like we don't even get a.
All
right.
I was hoping we'd get there. I had a counter punch. If he hit me for 5, I was just going to murder him. I just want to read Ultron Stage 3 so people are aware. 2 scheme, 4 attack. So that's good.
Okay.
Each drone minion gets +1 attack and +1 hit point. Ultron cannot take damage while a drone minion is in play. When revealed, search the encounter deck and discard pile for Ultron's imperative side scheme and reveal it. Shuffle and the encounter deck.
We got hammered this game.
Yeah. We just got pounded into oblivion.
Worse than has happened in the past.
So I said up front, you know, part of the appeal of a cooperative game to me is that I feel like I need to have a challenge. And I felt challenged.
Like
there.
I want to do this again immediately and just be like, we can play this better.
I do. I feel like at least for me, the order in which I got cards was extremely unfortunate.
Yeah, sure.
I had my last 2 rounds of my first going through my deck. I drew all of my direct damage cards, and then I drew all of my allies. So then, like, I had all my resources. I had 2 or 3 turns of resources where I just couldn't really maximize my resource plays. That's the first time I've had that happen. I've played a handful of times now, and that was easily like not good.
Yeah. I had 2 Wakanda Forevers in hand. That was going to go somewhere.
Yeah, this next round.
What role do you think the expert threat cards played?
Expert threat cards?
They were
it
bad.
just makes things worse, doesn't it?
Yeah, it was the one that tapped me.
Make things worse.
Exhaustion, and then there was Master Plan that would put so many on there we just didn't even care anymore. And then getting my Nemesis was also cool and awful. It was randomly 4 or 5 damage that we had to deal with.
Let me lay this on you, Zach. It's 4 o'clock, which means that took us 2 hours.
Yep.
If we were to try this again, I think we would still have time to do our Black Panther strategy video. You want to do another one?
A round 2?
Round 2.
I'd play a round 2.
You want to do that?
Yeah,
Just
let's
see
do
if
it.
We can, let's see if we can get it.
We're going to do it. So are we going to stop the stream and start
let's
over?
stop the stream
For
and
another
start over,
video. Everyone watching, thank you so much. It's awesome having you guys watch and comment on this. In case you missed it, we do have core sets available for pre-order. If you pre-order from us, you will be getting a free strategy guide. We're going to take everything we learned from all these games, like getting smashed by Ultron.
And you can tell we're learning a lot.
Yes,
really.
And put that into a PDF so that basically you'll get that when those are shipping out, and by the time your core set arrives, you should be an expert as well at the game, and you can dive right into fully playing the game. And of course, people pre-ordering it is what allows us to do stuff like this stream, so we really appreciate it.
It literally actually led us to get better lighting. So it's pretty real how much it makes an impact. We literally have 3 new lights, which you can probably tell, and they are not cheap. And the response to the Gen Con stream is what made us say this is definitely worth investing in that. So we appreciate your support, and we will continue to make our experience better for you, and that's kind of the way that we understand business to work.
That's right.
So we're going to kick off this stream. Let's shut it off, and we'll come right back.
I'm gonna
we'll
grab
play
a coffee.
a round 2.
Yeah, I'm gonna grab a
let's
drink
do
and
it.
stuff. All right.